It looks like I'm filming when I don't have many batteries on me because I forgot my digital audio recording fucking device. Bike, penis up, cool, itchy bumhole bike. I went out here this morning and they set up basically one of the heaviest fucking organised corrupt fucking movement forces around me since I've lived in Yeovil. They forced me back home. The bastards fucking hammered the fucking setups at me. Literally, in under 20 fucking minutes, there's 2 fucking pages of problems, anything from smashing you to pieces, to tearing your fucking life apart, to sexuality, to forcing me away from the bus station, to over 100 fucking phone calls in my direction, to people coughing and sneezing in my face, and all the rest of it. They had me in their fucking trap. The government fucking really fucking pelted the action. They even tied a capital punishment t-shirt. The message to you followed by just in time van with a double bell alarm clock saying just in time that's being smashed by a cartoon character. They timed another just in time thing. Yellow writing saying just in, orange writing saying time. Girl and boy cartoon character living up to your name. And then obviously you had it was just absolutely fucking pelted at me. They didn't want me going anywhere. They didn't want me to fucking leave the fucking building. The battery went flat, so I was not able to complete what I wanted to say, but I can tell you now, going out lunchtime or whenever it was, just after lunchtime, is as heavy as fucking hell. The government or the elite or whoever's causing this setup has forced me back home. They didn't want me going out. They didn't want me fucking going anywhere. And they're getting really nasty about it. Anything from slicing your wrist with a creator god to making suggestions. But there's actually a t-shirt, I can't remember what it said. It's a new t-shirt that says that we're going to rip you to fucking pieces in your next life. It literally says that. It's like a dark cartoon character. Don't know, timing bikes to erections, or timing lookalikes to people who sexually abused me tying to an erection. And on one occasion there was a big chap with a big fat belly with a tiny baby bounced about in a sling. How fucking typical that the second fucking battery goes flat when I don't have hardly any batteries. I've got a lot to mention, I can't do it with nothing. Because I left my digital audio recorder at home. Because I'm being fucked about with fucking setups and burning from whatever's causing that at my place persistently since I've been back home. They did this last fucking time. They did this on a cloudy day last time. Today's sunny. But they forced me back on a cloudy fucking day to stop me going anywhere. They're sneaky bastards. But this is the heaviest I've known. It's probably 10th place roughly to the heaviest it's ever been since I fucking lived in Yeovil. And there's 2 areas which are record breaking and walking back a section. There's literally about 50 plus setups that I noted in a matter of just taking a few steps from Earl Street down to Sherborne Road walking back. Because initially I went to Aldi's first before I went back. The government are absolutely fucking hammering the shit into me. And the amount of people that they're timing look like it's that Sadie Dando in my direction. There was about 8 people roughly. I can't remember how many now. Somewhere between 6 and 8 people I think. And one of them actually looked similar to Lisa Pike as well. They were absolutely giving it fucking some. Then I thought I saw someone I knew at the bus station, but I couldn't be very sure of that because they timed a Sadie Dando lookalike to block my fucking vision. They're absolutely fucking going mental on me. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple of names and neighbours at my place. But I'm not going to give their surnames, for fuck's sake. I'm going to have to stop this because they were stop doing this. It's fucking stupid actions heavy again. Well, it looks like the government are really fucking hammering this fucking force against me for this time out as well. I'm already soaking wet in sweat to avoid the force. It's about 28 degrees Celsius, maybe slightly warmer. It wasn't this hot this time last year, or the year before that. But September last year was hotter than this, the first 2 weeks. So yeah, I was going to give you the names of the people at my place. Surnames can't be included for several reasons. But the people that remain at my place, you've got Clayton, he's not there at the moment. Right, so, but the ones that are actively there at the moment, also Mark's not there, I got on very well with him. So you've got Peter, Sam, Grace, Rachel, Tanya, Morgan, Shannon, and Kirsty, who's more of a bit of a one that's not as well as the others. And that is it at the moment. And then obviously sometimes you get visitors and whatever, so. But anyway, I'll leave it there on that subject because I've got more to write down. There's been more setups. Right, so yeah, going out the previous time, it was literally nasty. There's someone I wanted to see who it was at the bus station because I thought it was someone I knew. But they turned to Sadie Dando lookalike, coughing and sneezing and cell calls at me. People photographing me, giving me threats. People shouting from cars saying that they're going to fucking knife me down, or claiming I'm surveying, or claiming I'm a child rapist and whatever. I just couldn't do it. In the end, I couldn't even go back. I had to go to Aldi's first, to go in there first, before I could actually cross the road to get back. And they're trying to fucking construct this heavy setup against me, even now. But apparently, one of the people that is in my place has been out. And he said it's dead quiet out there today. So it seems that they're rigging up, organising, or causing all this fucking havoc to cause as much fucking shit stirring and fucking trouble only when I go out, to cause all the fucking trouble and to make it as heavy and as busy as they can fucking get it only where I am. So they're being sneaky little bastards basically. So I'm not very fucking happy about that. Right, so a red sexual car's been timed at the catalytic converter hot point I'm about to approach, and I've not even got my say to what I need to fucking say yet. The government are just going absolutely fucking crazy on me. It's like they're fucking accusing me of fucking terrorism or fucking stuff that I haven't done. Suddenly, there we are, catalytic converter hot point, Christ, you fucking, yes, black sexual, the black knife-shaped car, Christ, you fucking evil, malicious bastard. Beastie fucking black knife-shaped car, Christ. You fucking destroying bastard. And there's a black and blue car that's following it, which is going to come now. So why I mention that, I just want to mention that since I was back at my place, there was a lot of fucking burning. I mean a lot of burning. I don't know what's causing it. I don't want to accuse people of using energy weapons, but I can tell you now I was burning very bad. And that's what the government wanted. They wanted me back at my place. They didn't want me going anywhere. I couldn't go to where I am at the moment earlier because they fucking stepped that fucking setup, fucking hammered those fucking setups at me fucking nastily. Right, this is 2 of 4 pages since I've been back home with threats. I can't read the other 2 because I've accidentally left them behind with like my digital audio recorder instead of my fucking camera. You're a serious sick bastard. So I think that's the last threat that occurred before, yeah, and then molested Sadie. Right, itchy bumhole, loud bike, itchy bumhole, loud bike, sick cunt being shot down, molested Sadie getting HIV needle said. 6 said, stab you with HIV Justin read. Bow whistle, Sven Justin said. Troublemaker just, stab you with HIV, shoot you dead you stupid child abuser. Said, everything's lost Justin. Gonna get shot dead just. In. Smash you out Justin. Bloody sick cunt said. Dog barks. Sick cunt knife you dead just. Bow whistles. Molested Sadie. Mushroom Justin. Extremely sad rape Sadie Dando Justin. Rice just. And then Sam's bicycle just said. After that said, older age pensioner just. Hard banging occurs. Penis up loud bike. Bike time to an erection. And like I said, I've lost the other 2 sheets. So, but hold it there. Right, I can't remember what's on those 2 sheets, but I will give you some stuff that was said after, last night, mostly after 3 a.m, possibly 4 a.m. It kicked off because one of them said I made a neighbour pregnant, which is unusual, and it's and someone was saying it's too late. Someone was saying I think it's 27. I don't know if there's actually anyone that exact age in that place. There's some people that are 26. Maybe coming up 27, but not that age. But that's what was said anyway. 27. So then there was banging in sequence to threat. Well, not. It's hard to explain. It's not as freak. It's not like it was when Matty was there. There seems to be persistently mentioning of this specific female neighbour, basically saying that he's a sick cunt. He's 43. Sorry, and. He shouldn't be fucking, he should be with an old fucking granny. Negative attraction. And people are persistently saying, this is coming from outside as well, people are saying he should be with Lisa Pike. Negative shingles attraction. Gizmo Lisa. They just will not fucking stop digging with that specific lady. I made a documentary earlier, and I was saying that when I was at Elmwood School, they stopped me getting anyone at Elmwood School. So, obviously Elmwood School are communicating with the people at Blake School in the entrance between the two schools where people could on the playground, because you can have communication. And they didn't like me in that school for some reason. They don't even know me. Well, they turned most of those people in Elmwood School against me. So I was forced to leave that school. And when I started Avalon School, after I was forced out of Elmwood, because enemies forced me out of Elmwood School, that is where I knew Lisa Pike when I started Avalon School. I also knew Lani Baker, but Lani Baker, there was no communication. Quite literally, when I was speaking to her, or she started to know me, we were split at different classes, and I never saw her because she was in a different area of the school. But, and I don't think I ever saw her apart from in the assembly hall or at dinner. And she was at the other end of the where I wasn't sitting. But anyway, don't bother me that. So yeah, and then Lisa started at school, and she had friends like Kerry Moore, Louise Gunter, Daniel Dennis, and she was talking about her celebrity, her gossip and all that. She knows what my music is, old school jungle, but she didn't find it. She just thought, funky, if you listen to it, say, funky, when I played it in a cassette player at school or whatever when I was playing mixtapes. But she didn't really like it as such. She's more into, if I recall, she's into rock and possibly metal. I'm not sure, because her music tastes are a bit different now to what I saw on Facebook or what I've been told. And so she's into sort of also into pop music, like the female band. She's still into like celebrity. She's into clubbing, socialising, drinking. And she works with helping old people. So she is a very nice person. The very last time I actually saw her was in street on a rainy day, where she walked past and tipped the umbrella over me, going back quite a few years ago, and that's the last time I've actually seen her. And then there was a time where I saw her at Bridgewater College, and I said a few bad things to her because I was in a mood on that day, which I shouldn't have said, and she got a bit offended by it. And if we go back, before that I knew her at school, so she had a right to, tip the umbrella over me in some ways. But there's been no other issues that I haven't seen her since that time. But she is aware of Facebook and all the rest of it, and unfortunately she's negative attraction and not my type, and that's the end of that basically. So yeah, for several hours there was actually an argument outside at the back of my place in one of the houses. I'm not quite sure what the argument's about because I didn't hear the content of information, but I don't think it was anything to do with me. It's hard to say, because I smoke now. I've sort of given up my life. I thought, fuck's sake, you're not going to get a fucking day where it's cloudy anymore. You're soaking wet from sunshine every day. I'm actually soaking wet now, just coming up here. I'm actually more soaking wet here. Today's probably one of the hottest days that I've known this year. It's not the hottest day. I say it's about 28 degrees at least outside today. They've lied about the temperature on the weather, and it's been fucking just blue skies and sunny all day. I fell asleep for about an hour or so because of how hot it is, and just couldn't fucking do nothing. I can't tidy up, I can't do nothing in there. 8 months of the year you're stuck in a zombie state because of how hot it is. Anyway, there's some quite a few nasty suggestions. There's a bit of banging, not too much. It's mostly after 4 in the morning, the banging. But they're getting funny because they don't want me speaking to this neighbour, Grace. And obviously, as I said, there's a few things that have been said that I mentioned like just now. I won't give surnames of anybody because I don't want to cause trouble. Because there's literally thousands and thousands of people with the same name, possibly millions. Right, so there's sort of people are going into one of the neighbours' flats, which could be actually that neighbour's flat, it might not be, and banging, and there was burning in the time period that occurred. And this is comes with what I mentioned or whatever. So yeah, that's that. So it's still on the other sheet, I think. The other bit of information. They really are taking a fucking piss, the government. I don't know what they're stepping it up for. There's no reason for them to step it up. They're just nailing me as a sick bastard. Just going on fucking nailing me as a sick bastard when the only sex I've had in my whole life is being raped as a child. And they're reversing the consequences, claiming I'm a fucking rapist and getting malicious and getting fucking edgy with me and fucking going absolutely fucking psycho with this fucking setup around me. Right, so as I walked towards the office, as I walked out my place, firstly my penis shoots up to an erection and an itchy bumhole and an itchy bell end, they time a loud bike 8 times loud with the open office door followed by a bicycle to an erection. After that, I can't say what the next vehicle is because it will offend my father, but it makes a very bad suggestion, and so does the next vehicle. That also offends my father, but it gets even better because the third vehicle has a 3-letter word and a 2-letter word before that, and the first 2 letters begins with an F. It's not really a word you expect to see on a van. It's not suitable, but again, it will offend my father, so I'm not going to say what it is, but they shouldn't be doing it. So once that passes, there's another ear-shattering loud bike time to an erection. Dorset van, RSV van, RSV glazing van, should I say. Itchy bumholes, 8 times loud bike, sexual car, out my way. Then we have about 400 cars stopping me cross, and then it becomes just as busy as what it was the first time I was out when I had to do 2 sheets of mentioning all fucking problems when I went out earlier, in small writing that is, on WordPad. Copied and put onto a paint, into like a frame. Right, so penis up loud bike, sick blue grey. Then there's a traffic jam, so I struggled to get through that. So a load of black and fucking blue cars. Another loud bike time to an erection, a car angled to hit me. Someone coughs in my direction, 2 people sneeze near me, 2 cell calls at me. Another sneeze at me. Penis up's a bicycle on the path in my direction. This is all in the first few minutes of walking out, mind. I didn't bother going farm foods because I was going to go in there and I thought I'll get something and go back because the setups are too heavy, and I thought no, I'm stuck in an area. I thought if I go down there it'd be quieter and I'll go where I am going now, which is towards Barrack. So I took the easy option rather than the malicious fucking force that I would be stuck in, because it'd be the same as earlier when I went out earlier and I was stating all these problems, and every fucking 5 seconds I couldn't do anything. They're only doing it where I am. They're causing as much havoc and causing as much fucking trouble, to cause as much fucking misery in my path as they can possibly put there at one time to cause a load of fucking shit. That's what they're doing. Right, so black and fucking blue, right. Right, so Crow says bash you in, sick. And then sick, 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 blue, red, sick, white. Red, black and blue, sick. Then there's someone that shouts at me from a car as I cross over the bridge. And then there's about 50 cars and about 10 lots of colliding, trying to walk from the bridge to get to the gate of where I go up to do my walk. And then obviously, while next to the road, there's about 200 to 300 cars on the road, so it's a bit busier than usual. Yeah, how typical is that? I wouldn't say, no, actually no. I'd probably say it's about the same, because there's about 200 to 300, but the suggestion's very hard. So making it clear, they're causing every car to come out in like you're fucking red, black and blue. You're being fucking knifed down. You're having your life fucking taken to pieces. You're a sick fucking bastard. We want you sexually crucified. We want you destroyed. We've sliced your wrist with a creator god to land you in jeopardy and fucking tear you to pieces in hell. We're going to rape you as a baby in your next life. We're going to fucking take you apart. You're fucking sick. You raped Sadie, saying when I never raped her. You raped Stephanie when I've never raped her. Oh, you raped Amy Weston when I never raped her. That's another setup that occurred earlier that I forgot to mention. But it wasn't really suggestive in names as such. It's more through suggestion. But not applicable really. I mean, I stated most of it is fucking bad. Right, so you had like 200 to 300 cars of that. Then obviously when I got to the top, I started pushing record on air. I thought it's nice and clear now. Get to the catalytic converter hot point, and there's a red sexual car timed, followed by a black knife-shaped car timed. And I haven't written this down. I should have. There's a black and blue car that followed that, and then obviously I've made it to where I am at this minute in time. Going back to what I said earlier, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but someone was saying in threats, or it was coming out somewhere, in the same time period there was arguments outside. These arguments are not about me, I don't believe, but there's a possibility, if I'm being mistaken as Savan, that some of the information content that came out was regarding that person, but I'm mistaken as that person. So in some ways it could be about me, but like I said, I didn't hear it clear enough. All I could hear is just shouting, because it's more muffled, because it's behind doors, you couldn't actually work out what I was saying. But in the time period that was occurring, there was a threat to say that one of the neighbours is actually with Grace, so one of the male neighbours. Now, how true that is, I do not know, and I don't want to cause any trouble, and I'm not going to give names of that. Obviously, I've given you the names of the people that live in my place, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'm not going to actually mention the actual name. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but whatever it is, this information is not schizophrenia or paranoid thoughts or anything like that. I heard this, and I heard this clearly. I don't know whether it's outside or whether it's from someone's flat, but I know I heard this clearly. So, a lot of stuff is sort of, you know, saying that I'm a sick bastard, basically, supposed to be with a granny, and that you're going to be knifed down, you're having the door fucking smashed in, and because claiming that I molested Sadie Dando and wanting to smash that my fucking door down, saying it's supposed to be smashed down by the neighbour that got evicted on the 2nd of May when that occurred. And the 2nd of May is exactly the same day Sadie Dando's birthday is. So, yeah, there's been lots of problems. There's a lot of things I've forgotten what I need to say, because what's happened is I've lost my bearings because the government has set up all this force against me today. Fucking heavy and as nasty and as malicious they can fucking set it up. There should be no reason for them to set this up. Obviously Dunelm's gone on fire. That went on fire on Sunday. But this action was stepped up and it was heavy against me before that actually occurred. Sunday morning when I went out, it's the start of this extreme fucking hard heavy setups that are in my direction. The second time I went out was about 80% the first time, and that was when I was looking at the actual fire taking place, because I was pissing about with phone cards trying to make a fake Facebook channel because I wasn't very happy with being mistaken as a specific person, which was causing a lot of trouble. Yesterday I went where I am now, Barrack, and had the same problem. The setups and the fucking people fucking shouting at me was aggressive as anything. They were just absolutely fucking smashing this force against me, heavy as anything. And obviously they're doing the same this morning, and this morning's in the record breaking top 10 areas of, it could actually be, in some places it's record breaking. Where you go past Earl Street to go down the main road, to go where I am going eventually, where I am at the moment, I couldn't go down there. Not only is it packed with traffic, but packed with people, about 100 fucking people. In an area when the maximum I've seen, even when people like, wait, you know, on a busy Christmas time period, the maximum I've seen is about 50. They just fucking absolutely packed it. I don't know why it's so packed, but they fucking packed this action like anything. And literally, trying to walk at Sherborne Road, you have van, vehicle name after vehicle name. In hard suggestion, anything from destroy van, followed by Codfather fish and chips van, anything from ripping me to pieces with my name Justin being mentioned, to taking the fucking biscuit to like smashed blood glass vehicle, knife shaped vehicle, gun looking vehicle, just absolutely fucking pelting the action. And they're doing it again. When I went out this time, they're doing it again, and I'm getting very, very fucking annoyed with this action. The government want me destroyed, they want me to take me to pieces. Since the 6th of July, that's when the increase of these setups got nastier. Before that time, they were trying to say the Liberal Democrats are going to gain power and that they're going to rip me to pieces, that organisation, if we go back to April, May and June. And I was photographing the evidence as well. And then they sort of timed this ripping you to pieces paper shredder van as it passing the Liberal Democrats sign. Well, yes, they have got in power for the local election, so they have won, but only for the overall election, not for the UK. The main party that got in the UK is Labour, and obviously, but going back when Labour was in last time, this is what the setups were like then, mind. These setups are slightly heavier today than what they were back then, but you did have these setups as nasty and as aggressive as what they were back then today, because they're making the suggestion that well, I haven't seen days like this since Margaret Thatcher was in power as being shown on telly, and Tony Blair was saying what we must do is we must destroy it, the king. We must destroy it. And then also he said, quite simply, this is on the news, Tony Blair was saying, quite simply, the king is dead. And then they were making the suggestion that we got to shoot him down. So then they sort of, because they got the ball twisted, the system, they were trying to say, sort of go on about banning fox hunting and trying to say everything's reversed and everything's reversed. When Gordon Brown was in power, he was saying peace in our time, changing. So what he was saying is trying to make a suggestion that we want that person dead, when he was displaying something in the government political party going back when Labour was in power. There's been a lot of fucking nasty... When Conservative are in power, it's been bad, obviously. There's been no good days. But these setups, so this organised force that's against me, seems to be heavier and more malicious than when the Conservatives were in power. It was like this last time when Labour was in power. But this time it seems to be a bit more like it's... You know, it's not good. It's like it all the time, but there seems to be a touch more of malevolence to it every time. There's more malevolence to it, where rather than casual setups where there's days where you can go out and, you know, you got it and it can be really bad, but it's not the malevolence and the eagerness and the anger and the maliciousness and the actual force is not so as menacing as what it is. But it has been like that, even when they've been in. But there's nothing you can do about it. These people are fucking corrupt. They're satanic. They're fucking evil. But then again, they're making a suggestion today that they want to slice everybody, my wrists in particular, with a creator God, to tear me to pieces. And they're making up lies on sexuality because they keep on timing Sadie Dando lookalikes, claiming I've had sex or raped Sadie Dando as a child, which is not true. Before we had any of these lockdowns, a day where you had lots of setups like this, once that day had passed, the following day would have ease. Nearly quite simply every time. There might be a couple of days in a week, or it might have hit 3 days or even 4 days a week, and especially in the 2011 area. But take that away, most days, when you've had a really heavy setup day or things have been really nasty or malicious, the second time you go out is usually calmer. It doesn't usually come again the same day. Nowadays, it's every day. They can just keep on doing it for a time period where they're malicious as anything daily and keep it that level of traffic or that flow of setup organised or that flow of maliciousness for that time period. And they just will not stop it. Since the lockdown, they've reconstructed all this force against me. And most days it's 4 times heavier than what it was before the lockdown. However, when I went to Bridgewater Court, Magistrates Court, and when the police took me in their police car to the police station, I noticed that they step up the setups in that time period as well to the heaviest they could possibly set it up back then. So, yeah, but most of these setups, there have been times where it's been really, really nasty. But if we go back to 2005, 2006, you know, we'll go back a bit further than that, say 2002, 2003, that's when I started the Deep Depression, My Life Story pack. You didn't have the setups nowhere near as bad as what it is today. There are times where it's heavy, but you got it's 3 times heavier when we reached about 2010, 2011 than what it was back then. They were trying to stop me getting anyone back in those days. They were taking the bus service off, closing roads, closing shops, closing down dating sites. They were fraud, stopping me getting anyone. And then they were making the suggestions that I need to... I won't say what they were doing, because I don't want to offend people, but they were making a suggestion of a specific person in that time. Just being ridiculous about it. And then that moved on to more serious sort of suggestions later on. But they were just pissing about being stupid about it at that time. Then you obviously had the Fathers for Justice event where they tried knocking me off. So they opened the nightclubs and the Palace nightclub and Squid pub, having bonus nights and staying open till later hours and scaffolding around my place. The CCTV camera was taken off. There's a parked Connaught van with a rent-a-kill van and whatever, I can't remember what the other van was. But the good news is, not everyone was one-sided back in those days. So the rough people were trying to protect me and the other neighbours and saying that people were making stuff up about me when it came to this Stephanie and Sadie business. So there's no sort of, there was no attacks or no problems, and everyone were kept, having arguments, stopping people climbing the buildings where I was, and and all the rest of it. And quite literally it started to calm down until eventually I moved. But then you had the knife attack that occurred at Bridgewater Fair, and then obviously they were getting suspicious or thinking that I may have been involved in that, getting confused. So that was the end of that. So that ended. obviously things at the Palace nightclub calmed down. There was hardly any threats about me at all. When I moved to Burnham-on-Sea, you had my ex-mugger Dan Morgan, and then he calmed down, there's no problems there. But later on, the Savannah and Liam threat came in, and that's what we got today, and it continues today. So that threat's, you know, so many years old as well now. So yeah, it just kicks off and kicks off and kicks off. And obviously they stepped up this action since the lockdown. What was happening before the lockdown, if we come to the later stages of the before the lockdown, say the last year, I was actually walking into sexy women in their 20s, and they're actually smiling at me. They were making the suggestion that you paid the price for things that I haven't done, which annoyed me. So they were saying that you paid the price for molesting Sadie or whatever. Even though I've not molested Sadie, they've told me that I've been punished for it, which I don't like being told when I haven't done anything wrong. And it's the same with Stephanie. There's one thing that they said they have punished me for, which penis shoots up and there's a gunshot as soon as the camera battery goes flat again. So right, what happens next is, I did mention I ripped Bomb Hinkley Point Power Station graffiti, which the police told me off about, and I did get in serious trouble for it. I didn't go to jail or anything like that, but they did give me a warning, and they said it's not a safe thing to do, and whatever you do, don't write that. They said they're more concerned about my life than at that time. There were several sexual things that occurred back at that time, and many accusations and trouble that I got, and many other things that occurred. I think that I had even had a break-in, and you know, there's different types of things like that which caused me to write it back at that time. So the police sort of just, I think they fined me or something, can't remember, and obviously I haven't written it since. Obviously there's that small chance if my life got worse and worse and worse and aggressively worse, and then I could, but it's unlikely. Just see how my days go, see how it gets, and just see how I'm treated. When I made the suggestion, I paid the price for that as well, with this capital punishment of setups. These setups dropped. These setups literally dropped to nothing. I was walking into no threats. You had threats, obviously, it's setups, there's still bad days of setups, but nothing like it is today. So when we come out that lockdown, coming into the new way of life, these setups, or this organised force, is reconstructed heavily. And it's going even back to the Wayne days of, you know, Lorraine Langford and Connie Langford and Cassie Langford and Wayne Langford or whatever. They're even digging back to that time. They've reorganised this force. It doesn't sound like the same people that have rigged it up. This sounds like a force that's more fucking nasty, more malicious, more up to date with their fucking nasty fucking intentions. So yeah, I literally, just as before we actually came out of the lockdown in 2020, when I was walking to Tesco's when I was staying at my nan's, over 50 people were shouting out their fucking cars at me to say I'm a sick cunt and a rapist, thinking I'm Savannah, where they've rigged up, and it's always the bearded type people. And that's something else. Before the lockdown, it's very rare I'd walk into these types of bearded people. I was walking into rough people, yes, but a different type of rough, not the bearded type. Nowadays, I'm walking into the rough, all types, but all types are mistaking me as Savannah, because many people have taken photographs of me, and I'm being mistaken as, you know, whoever, basically. So, hang on. So, you know, you've got all that. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Right, so I don't want to piss about with just timing loud bikes to itchy bumholes and erections at the moment. But there's one other thing I want to mention. A bird has said, it's been tweeting saying sick cunt lethal injection, and straight after that, basically a bird is telling me to fuck or have sex with someone who sexually abused me as a child, basically. And then obviously we have the loud bike issue. Right, as you can hear, another 15 loud bikes slammed to my fucking penis. Right, there's nothing I can do about it because the creator god is fucking absolutely fucking hellbent and fucking corrupt. Right, an owl says you did do Sadie repeatedly. Right, a bird says you raped her. Right, just before that, there was a Lisa Pike lookalike that passed me on this path, walking in the other direction. Earlier on, they were timing Sadie Dando lookalikes in my direction. One of those, fuck's sake, flies. One of those lookalikes looked like Lisa Pike. I just wanted to mention that. Mixed with Sadie Dando, so 2 appearances in one. I came down this path the other day, and I just want to mention something interesting. It's not a setup or anything like that, but it's different. I saw a girl aged somewhere between 9 and 11. and the muscles on her was really hard. You're probably looking at some builders not being as hard looking muscles as what she had. You know, that's just a figure of speech, but she looked really, really hard. I don't know how hard this girl is, but she looked like she was, I mean, really bloody hard. And she's only about 9 to 11, so she had the same type of skin that a child would have, the same appearance in face, so she didn't have anything like lines in the face where muscles are showing in the face as such. Her face just looked like a normal child's face. And obviously she had blonde hair, same type of hair that a child would have. But I've never in my life passed or walked past a girl that age that looks that muscular. And that, you know, not just, you know, whole body, you know, you see that she's a very tough wrestler type person. So this occurred down this section of the path the other day, and I just wanted to remind you of that. We're about to reach a catalytic converter hot point, but there's been a threat that's occurred just before that. Someone has shouted from a distance, which could be the farm that where I was getting in trouble earlier last year. In the early part of last year or late 2022, I can't remember when it was. Well, sick cunt raped her, burglar, he said, in temper. And that's a red knife-shaped car, and that's another reddish, sick colour car. At the catalytic converter hot point. They know they can get away with it. They just stepped it up for no reason. They're accusing me of doing something. But also, you've got to take into account that this has been rigged up. So maybe when they stopped me getting on the bus and there was no bus service on that Saturday and thinking it's sunny, they started stepping up the action maybe. Because what happened was on Saturday, I went to Curry Rival to try and take a picture of the building again. And it turned out to be blue skies and sunshine. So I waited 40 minutes for the bus and it never turned up, and it didn't turn up because another lady said she was waiting for the same bus and had to return to the bus stop later on to wait for the following bus, so it didn't actually turn up. So I had to wait about 2 hours or whatever for the next bus, and I got that bus. Maybe they put me in a trap doing that, I don't know. And also they're claiming it's cloudy on that day, and the reason I'm staying there when it's not, it was sunny. So the sneaky bastards were doing that, thinking it's... So they fucked up. The setups are claiming it was cloudy, and it was actually sunny. So this setups don't have a fucking clue, but they managed to rig it up around me. So they must have set these setups around me before fucking about with the sky state. So when this setup was organised, they thought it was going to be cloudy. So they must have moved the clouds out of the way when they had this force controlled or mapped out to be planned. You know, because they have no ethics, science, technology, the government, and they want to rip people to fucking pieces, and that's how the government and the elite grab hold of children out and about in the streets and places like playgrounds. They do it when nobody's around. They've got no ethics, science, know that they're not going to get in trouble, and then they take them back to their bases. They sexually abuse them. They drink their blood, and then they play about with them in a fireplace with poker sticks, doing rituals in their degrees of masonry. Right, so they timed a red knife-shaped vehicle, Michael Winehouse van, the Bikes Allowed van, that's spelt in a specific way. It's the same spelling as, you know, the pop group Girls Aloud, the same spelling as allowed in that way, so it's A-L-O-U-D. So what they're applying is that they're allowed bikes, and they make the suggestion it's a loud bike van. And then obviously you've had a new van that's just passed. Maybe there's some bike event, I do not know. It's called Spice Bicycles, and that's just occurred as well. And obviously you've had a few more cars, because I've got to walk back because I'm not in the fucking mood for the setups. Because when I went to go towards the road earlier on, I thought, I know what's going to happen, this is all we're going to set up. So you heard all the fucking traffic, obviously. I didn't need to write anything down because I didn't go that far to see what was passing. I thought, yeah, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of... I thought, with all that, I'm not going to fucking bother, so obviously I'm walking back. Black and blue, sick, black, grey, sexual car and knife-shaped. I just now break of fucking black and blue, they're fucking stepping it up the same way as it was when I was walking up here, just as fucking heavy. I'm thinking back of the Spice Bicycles or whatever it was. It's on the other sheet, I put it in my pocket. Spice Bicycles. I'm not 100% sure whether it did say that or whether it says Splice. It's one of those words. I think it's spice, but it's a vehicle I've never seen before. So just want to clarify that it might say that, it might not. I don't know. It's more likely to say spice, but I thought there was an L on it, but I don't know. I didn't see it clear enough because obviously I'm looking through the hedge, and because there's gaps you can see through, you can see just about make out what was on it. Time to itchy bumhole. Right, although it's sneakily gone quiet as soon as I push record on here, there's been black, grey, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, red, grey, black mixed with red, black and blue, white, black and blue, canoe on car roof which is knife shaped, black and blue, itchy bumhole, slow bike, sexual car, grey sexual, black and blue, loud bike time to an erection, itchy bumhole, car, red car, sorry, then roughly 100 more cars, but that's not counted, that's just an estimated amount. Every one of those cars, of 100 cars roughly, each and every car comes out in the same pattern without a single car in between to make a different suggestion or no suggestion. And then there's a gun looking car. Right, I've got to stop. I need to mention something because I'm not very happy about this because it causes trouble. Right, at the end of last year, they were timing a specific van that offended my father, and my father told me to get that information off of Facebook, and he was doing his nut. He said otherwise I'll report it, you know, because it's not a good suggestion what it says. Then it started to increase, that specific van only mostly, but it didn't increase straight away. For the rest of the year of 2023 it didn't occur, and most of 2024 up until just after April 2024, and then it started to creep up a bit more frequently, especially if we come into the months of May, June and July and August. But now, or since roughly when all the setups increased from the 6th of June onwards, it was 6th of July, I don't know, I can't remember what date it was now. I think it's 6th of June. It was straight after the election. Now, you had the election on the 4th or something like that. It was about 2 days after when the Woodis action got stepped up. Well, since that time, they've been typing new vehicle names or suggestions that's going to offend my dad. So quite literally, every time I go out now, there's van names, literally name van after van, which has a wording on there, which is not appropriate for me to either photograph or put on the internet, would offend him. And I don't like offending family members, and I have respect for family. But why they need to do this, I do not know. But they've just timed another vehicle making that suggestion now, just as I was looking through the gap of the trees to the main road down below, before I came through the gate to go down the field, to be prepared for the next lot of setups that are going to occur in a minute. Right, so in exactly the same place as I was yesterday, I've had to pass someone shouting in a car again, calling me a rapist and threatening to smash me out and knife me down. Then we have a red car and a red, whatever that is, kind of sexual looking. I don't know how to word this, but there's a kind of a setup that goes to a threat that I had recently to blow up the buildings in the United States. So basically, going back a couple of months ago, there were some people outside that were threatening to blow up the Houses of Parliament at the Washington White House, DC in America, if anyone from the USA tries adding me on social media to be a partner with me. Basically, that's a sexual woman, because they don't want me to have anyone. They're threatening to blow up the buildings in the United States, so they just made that suggestion basically. Well, as we go through, I'm gonna fucking knife him. I'll try and write down. Knife in black, white. And sick above. On the road ahead. And white King's Stag Garage. Right, just before that, coughed up. With phlegm. The government's stepping up all this action heavy as fucking anything because it won't be knocked off. Don't want to fucking They won't play about with me with poker sticks while raping me as a baby in my next life in the fireplace. And that's what they're doing, that's what they're suggesting. And they've been making that suggestion since 2022. Right, that was a black sexual car with a light on. Right, before this, black and blue, red, grey, red, sick, grey, black and blue, red, red, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, grey, white, black and blue. I'm gonna fucking knife and said to two people. Black, white car, sick, Kingstar garage van. Coughed up just before this, with phlegm possibly going in my bag. I've got to check that. Grey, white shaped time, black sexual car with light on, and I can't cross the road. Well, I can now, but I couldn't because the government is stopping me by all this fucking satanic force. Knife down jumper, drain cover over. The animals are cursed big time since I'm back. Anything from saying that you're being molested to in your next life, to being raped as a baby in my next life, to being knifed down, to claiming that I raped Sadie, and to claim that I molested Stephanie, and to claim that I've been with Amy Weston, which is none of this is true. But God's buckled in the fucking head of his creation, his mindless fucking stupid works of fucking evil creation, and the dog's barking, you're being fucking smashed in and fucking smashed out and fucking knifed dead, and claiming that I've had sex with whoever, and taking the piss out of being sexually abused as a child with stuff that's being mentioned there. And there's even been shot dead that's been mentioned by animals. If we get past that, loud bikes to erections, so I've had to shut the windows because I'm getting pissed off it. So I'm about to make a sandwich for tonight, and they just want us to time loud bikes to erections. There's also threats outside, but basically similar content to what's being mentioned by animals. And obviously I'm burning from something as well, which I sometimes refer to as possible energy weapons, I don't know, but that started as well. I had that earlier as well before I went out, so it just seems to be increasing at the moment. And the other thing is the last setup that occurred as I was walking back to mine after the drain cover got hit over was someone saying that you're losing your life, I'm gonna fucking smash you out and fucking stab you to death, you sick cunt, said. So, and then obviously a seagull went, ah. And the other thing is, when I mentioned the curse with the sunshine and being cursed with sunny weather. Well, every time I go out, the sun's out. Not straight away, not today, or not the second time. 4 minutes roughly after I left, the sun came out, and clouded over again, just as I was walking into the main problem of person coughing, phlegm coughing that possibly went into my bag. I've still got to check that before the threats and other problems and setups organised and rigged up around me to try and hit me off, because the government don't want me here.